Everybody in this room, when you go look at your credit score, actually has a score. That's like in school. You want to know what your grade is. What did I get? Well, this is your grade for money. So your credit score can be, 550 or less or 750 plus. And this gives you an idea of what's good versus bad. Because people look at the score, they're like, well, 700, is that good? And this gives you an idea what's good versus bad. And I will tell you this, it's next to impossible to build wealth if your credit score isn't good. Because let me tell you this right now, only two people can have your money, either you or somebody else. And that's it. Only two people can have it. And if you have a bad credit score, you're going to pay more money for everything you need, whether it's a car loan, a mortgage, a credit card, because if your credit score is bad, you're considered high risk. Therefore, if you want to borrow money, they're going to charge you more money to borrow that money. It makes sense? So how is your credit score calculated? 35% of your credit score is payment history, paying on time. Obviously, that's the most important, but it's not the only thing. Another factor is this amount owed. That represents 30% of what your credit score is. So what do I mean by that? So let's just say if you have a credit card balance of $3,500 that you're not paying down, you're making the minimum payment, so you're not really making a dent into it. You know what I'm trying to say? And imagine your limit on your credit card is $5,000. So the balance is $3,500, okay? And you're not really paying it down, and your credit card limit is $5,000. You're better to try to call your credit card company and increase your credit limit to $11,000 because there's something called a utilization rate. And what you want to be is under 35% of the total limit of what your balance is. So if you're paying off your balance in full every month, not a worry. But if you're holding on to balance 35% or higher than what your limit is, that's going to have a negative impact on your credit rating. Okay? So keep your balances low compared to what your limit is. If you have them high, that is bad for your credit rating. Length of credit history. If you have a credit card that you've had for a long time and you're paying it off on time, don't ever cancel that credit card because that shows good credit history. If you cancel that, all of a sudden that now no longer applies to your credit. It's not bad, but it helps your credit. New credit applications. Anybody in this room, if you get declined for a credit card or a loan and you try again and keep trying to reapply over and over and over again, every time they pull your credit report, that's a hard credit pull. That's going to have a negative impact on your credit rating. If you don't get approved one place, you're probably not going to get approved in most of them because all of them operate with the same template. The last is this type of credit used. That represents 10% of your credit score. So there's two types of loans you have. Number one, revolving debt, which is like a credit card or a line of credit where you can spend money, pay it back, use it over and over and over again. Then you have installment loans, which could be like a student loan, or it could be like a mortgage or a car payment where you have to make equal payments over a certain period of time and you pay it off.
My name is Matt Fabian, and I'm the Director of Research and Industry Analysis for TransUnion Canada. TransUnion is a global information services company, and by that I mean we do everything from providing credit information to consumers and businesses, but also all sorts of other types of information and data to support better decision making both by consumers and businesses. On average, about 1 million consumers would contact us at TransUnion in a given year, and the contact would range anywhere from request for their credit history or their credit report to what we call disputes. And what that really means is if consumer sees anything irregular on their credit history or something that they didn't expect, they can always come in and get that verified, in some cases corrected. We also offer credit monitoring services. So in this era where fraud becomes more prevalent, identity theft becomes more prevalent, credit monitoring is a useful tool for consumers that want to take advantage of it that will provide triggers or alerts if anything changes on their credit. I think financial literacy and education is important for all Canadians. It's important to understand how to manage debt properly, how to use credit properly, how to invest, where to invest, how to build equity. All that gives you sort of the education and arms you with the education to build out a solid plan for your financial future.